Shit.
We back. Officially.
We're back.
Yeah.
Like I'm excited. Like I'm very excited.
Collectively.
Yo, I'm excited too, man. It's good to be back.
Caba, what up, man?
What up, man?
It's good to have you back. We missed you.
What is up, man? What's going
you.
on? Yo, I missed y'all, man. I miss doing this. I miss doing this.
I had someone tell me that they missed you on the podcast as well. Someone who listens.
Oh, that's dope.
A couple people. She said that she.
Yeah, that's dope.
She said that they miss your the way that you explain things.
Yes.
I was like, yeah, that's the smart one.
That's what's up, man.
So,
nah, I'm not. You're the smart one, Alex.
Not me. Absolutely not.
Not me.
It's definitely you. It's not me.
It's not me.
Absolutely not me.
I'm far from that one.
Nope.
That's why I always look up to you two, because listen, I'm telling you, I always say I'm the dumb one on the podcast, so I can only go up from here.
This guy's so
hanging
humble.
around you guys.
He's so humble.
They ain't no dumb ones either. Like,
nah.
That's what I'm saying.
Nah, we ain't dumb.
Like,
what up, man?
As Phil would say, ratchet intellectuals. Maybe.
Correct. Yeah.
Nah, that's Phil.
Let's let Phil have that one.
What up?
What's going on, man? What's going on?
How we doing? How we feeling? I'm good now. I mean,
I'm great.
We're doing really good.
Great.
Yeah, we're doing
family's
really good.
back together.
The family's back together. Aside from the snow outside,
I'm not even worried about it.
Snow's good. Snow's good.
Yeah,
I ain't worried about it either.
It's snowing.
Yeah,
I didn't even know it was snowing. But
well, see, look, they can't say that we ain't consistent. Even with the blizzard outside,
what's up?
We still here.
We're still here.
We still here.
Didn't it snow? Did it snow? Did it snow last week? It was one week we left out of here. It was snowing.
Nah, not last week.
It wasn't last week.
It may have been, but I don't think it was as bad as getting out there right now.
Schools are closing.
Well,
it's a 2-hour delay already in Providence. At noon, they said 2-hour delay.
That's crazy.
I wonder if Rip is closing.
Never.
Nah, I Rip ain't.
Schools are mad sensitive, dog.
Yeah.
Do you remember being in school, like, blizzard outside, you still in class?
Mm-hmm.
I remember walking to school.
That's what I'm saying.
Walking up to Broad Street from Mitchell Street to
but now, I know. I can assume why it happens now. Is that 1 year? I think it was like 2007.
That 1 year was crazy. Yeah,
kids would get home at like 8 o'clock.
Yeah, that was
that was crazy.
I was living in Providence then on Dartmouth Ave, which typically took me maybe. I was getting to Onlyville.
Shine.
Damn, Shine. Wow. Usually used to take me 15 minutes, maybe, on a bad day to get to Onlyville to work. That day it took me an hour and a half.
That day?
That day.
That day was bad.
Traffic was everywhere.
From 15 minutes to an hour and a half was crazy.
It was ridiculous.
That was a terrible fucking storm. But here we are. We're back.
Here we are. We're back.
We're motherfucking back.
What up? What did I miss?
What
did I miss?
You missed Ratchet Intellectual.
Nah. I heard that. That was good.
You missed.
Phil episodes should be called bonus episodes.
Real talk. Phil the fourth co-host when he comes out.
Real talk. It should be called bonus Phil episodes. We got to figure out a name for those episodes.
Yeah. Phil show mad love though. He show mad love.
All the time.
All
the time.
Speaking of showing love, shouts to Sarah. She went on Twitter, embarrassed as she was, took a poll, said she was wrong because I was right. I didn't see that poll she did.
Nah.
I haven't been online in a while, but
okay. Well, we had a discussion about whether taking a hot shower in the summer is crazy or not, or how.
I love hot showers.
That's what I told her.
I
told her only psychopaths take a shower in the cold.
Like, so she's saying that you would take a cold shower in the summer.
Yes.
Because it's hot outside.
Yes.
No.
See? See?
Ain't nothing wrong with cold shower.
I'm not taking
if you're doing like an inflammation type of thing.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna take
ice bath or something.
The temperature from winter to summer in the shower does change. I'm not gonna take a steaming hot. In the winter, I am.
Of course.
But in the summer, depending on like if I gotta rush about the crib, like I got time, shower. It's gonna be nice, relaxing, hot. But if I'm like I gotta be out the crib in 30 minutes, let me jump in the shower real quick. It's probably gonna be a little
right. What if you're in an air conditioned hotel room?
What's funny is
I'm steaming that up.
Oh, I'm always
steaming that up dog.
Because the body the body temperature still for me, I'd be hot even though the room is an iceberg. But either way, I'm not taking a cold shower ever.
Nah.
Unless I've taken them. I'm not gonna lie, I've taken them in the past. The heat gets shut off. Cold shower.
Oh yeah, that would be
cold
the only
shower.
That's the only occasion.
Cold shower.
Happen. Dude, I am not taking I don't give a shit how hot it is outside. I'm not taking a cold shower.
You ever take a cold shower though? Like
that's why I've never. That's why I would never do it.
You can't even breathe, right?
It's way too fucking cold.
Man. Nah,
you don't even feel clean after a cold shower.
I'm not doing that.
I'm good.
I don't even appreciate the cold like that. Like I heard a story about this dude that went across Antarctica for like 64 days or 54 days or something like that, just because he wanted to complete a task. Like he wanted to complete a goal, and his goal was to I guess he does these extreme type of things. Like I'm not that's too cold for like 64 minutes.
It's not on my bucket list.
I'm not doing 64 days.
That's funny that you just said bucket list because I was gonna ask y'all, well, if y'all have a bucket list and what's on it. But we can get to that.
All right. I got a few things.
We can get to that. Yeah. So that's shouts to her for going on Twitter, embarrassing herself, losing, facing.
We still petty, huh? We still.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we're still 100% petty here, huh? All right. All right.
Absolutely, that hasn't changed.
I forget.
Never
hasn't
changed.
changed.
Never changed.
Yeah, we took a couple weeks off, and then we came back a couple weeks after.
Yep.
Gotta trust the healing process, man.
Yeah, we back, man. We back. We still healing, but we back, man. It's not a thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not a thing. We grow and we grow forward. It's a growing pain. It's not a degenerate pain.
That's what we've been saying. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Pain. You grow with it, so So it is what it is. But we back, man. What's going on?
No, you just came back from New York. How was New York?
New York was crazy. Family's dope, man. Shout outs to family out there. We got family out there, and we took, my siblings and cousins and stuff when we went out there, and we had a blast, man. We had a blast. It was crazy hood, and you forget. You know what I'm saying? Because it's been a while, so you forget. But man, to be around family like that and to enjoy those type of situations and be out there and it was just a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? That's just irreplaceable. Absolutely. That's just irreplaceable. So that was dope. I had a good time.
Good.
I had a good time, man.
No drinking out there. No partying.
Way too much partying. Way too much drinking.
What y'all do?
It was out of control. It was out of control. Yeah. It was out of control. I was up for 24 hours. I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning to drive up to upstate New York.
Mm-hmm.
We got there at 10:30. We ate breakfast. By 11:30, we were hitting the bottle.
Damn, 6 hours?
Yeah, early. And then we were up. We hit up a all-black business pop-up shop.
To hit the bottle.
Huh?
Hit the bottle
early. Yeah, hit the bottle early. Hit the pop-up shop, supported all black businesses. That was dope, man. That was really solid. And it was diverse. You know what I'm saying? It was black businesses, but there was people of all types of backgrounds there. It was so dope, man. But we hit that. We supported the family because the family had their own little table out there with their merch.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, we went to a Styles P concert. You know what I mean? And that was crazy hood, but it was so much fun, man. We had a blast out there.
Did you jump another album while y'all were out there?
Nah, he just hit a verse. He hit a verse.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He hit a verse and he hit like 3 other verses.
I mean, he got enough verses. He dropped 7 albums last year.
Yeah, but he only hit us with 3 verses, and none of them were on those albums. It was kind of hood, dog. It was kind of.
What would you expect?
Yeah.
No, you said upstate though.
Upstate.
Have you ever heard of Buffalo?
Buffalo got a hood.
Have you ever heard of Buffalo, dog?
Buffalo got a hood. Yeah,
I've never been.
Yeah,
Buffalo.
We know Buffalo.
Shout out to Buffalo.
We don't know Buffalo
Shout out
State.
to Buffalo.
We know it.
I know the Bills. That's as much as I know about
franchise.
Buffalo. There's a lot more than the Bills out there, though. Yeah.
Yo, you hear about De La Soul?
I have been.
So I guess they're having beef with the label with their music, and so their music is being put out. They don't want it put out because of whatever the issue they're having with the label.
Old music or new music?
I don't know if I want to assume that it's their whole catalog.
Oh,
has been being streamed, but there's issues with the label, and so Jay-Z said Tidal will not put their music on. Jay-Z said Tidal won't stream their music.
Yep.
Just because they want to make sure that the artists, Tidal, Jay-Z started Tidal to make sure artists are getting paid for their music.
Yep.
They own their music, and so he's not going to stream it. Not going to allow Tidal to stream it.
I mean, good for Tidal, but there's so many streaming services.
I know. Yeah. That's the fucked up part.
There's so many streaming services.
But I guess it's in support of De La Soul.
Yeah. Peace to De La, man. I don't know what those issues are, but that has to be tough.
Classic hip hop. Yeah.
That has to be tough.
Pioneers.
Yeah, nobody cares about that shit when it comes to money.
No, yeah. Absolutely.
Isn't that crazy? Nobody gives a fuck about any kind of respect when it comes to money.
Fuck
dog.
your reputation.
What? Who you think you are? Fuck that. You owe me $5. Yeah, man.
That's not. Well, I mean, shouts to Jay for
Shout out to Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and shout out to De La. Hopefully they figure it out. That's rough, man. That's rough. What's going on though, man?
What we talking about today, man? What we talking about today?
I got some topics.
Yeah.
Alex got some topics.
I don't know. What did you think about a little 1 hour thing that we did last week? Because I was thinking about it. I was like, damn, do we? It was dope. Like
I like it though. Can I? I'm gonna be out there. I'm gonna say it. I like it. It was quick. It was dope.
Nah,
I think the people liked it. Like, I liked it. It sounded efficient. I was telling Bub in the car, like, y'all didn't even.
I think it was fluid.
It was late.
Very, very fluid.
And it didn't even sound like it was late. It sounded like
it was. Talking about like the time when we recorded. He thought it was like,
I thought y'all were back to 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I'm excited. That's why I asked what time it was. That's why I asked what time.
Depending on what time.
What time today? Because
he's like, I think those guys recorded early without me, bastards.
Nah, yeah. Couple more weeks. I'm lying. That was a lie. That was about to lie.
Again.
That's about to lie.
Couple more months.
Couple more months. We'll be back. We'll be back at a regular schedule time.
Couple more weeks trying to amp us up.
I'll help you out.
So let's get right to it, man. So
let's do it.
I had some topics that I wanted to discuss with y'all. So the first one was, should the government provide more social programs or incentives? And I want y'all to know where this stemmed from, right? Because I heard the 2 podcasts that I unfortunately was not able to make, and the first one, there were 2 things that came out of the first one and the second one that I wanted to voice here. One, we do not talk about what you do enough.
I tried.
No, you did.
I tried.
You did, but that was not the time. It just wasn't. But we don't talk about what you do enough, man. So that's where I'm trying to come up with questions that I know will trigger you, right? Yeah. And 2 is that I want Alex to talk more. You know what I'm saying? I want.
I talk enough.
I know you do. But I like
last week.
I like to hear you. Yeah,
we did
man.
Last week.
I like listening to you, man. So I want you to talk more. So I'm inviting y'all to my brain with these type of questions.
So I had a conversation this week. Nine times out of 10, when we're talking about programming, we're talking about things that can help communities, especially communities in poverty-stricken communities, right, that lack resources and everything else that comes with it. Usually what makes sense doesn't get funded. and we know people in certain political seats and have influence, power, authority. They have their own self-interest. Yep. And usually those people are not people who look like us.
Yep.
Or represent our community. And so they have their own self-interest. And so usually you can present something that makes absolute sense. Right?
Yep.
Violence intervention and prevention programs make sense because we have violence.
Yep.
But if I'm a person that's in a certain political seat, or if I have influence to make certain policies and bills pass through, I don't live in those communities. I don't have kids in those communities. I have no stake in those communities other than working in this city. But none of that affects my livelihood. I have no interest in that. And I don't even want to say they don't. Interest and caring, I think, are two separate things. I'm not saying that they don't care about people, but I'm pretty sure they are people.
I don't think they care about people.
We're not incentivized to care, though, right?
Yeah.
True.
But they do care about people, but what people, right? So they do care about people.
Okay.
But I don't. I think there's a difference, though. Like I'm not interested in violence prevention and intervention because either I don't understand it or I just have no interest in it. So I don't want to say that they're not caring. There's people that don't care, and there's people that do care.
Alex, you don't give a shit about people.
Yes, I do.
Alex, we've said it. We've talked about it on this podcast. We've talked about it here. You don't give a shit, dog. Alex,
but I do care. I do care.
I know you care.
Okay.
But let's be real. You don't give a shit. You don't. You like
elaborate a little bit more.
Unless there's something that you're not telling us. Like you don't go out of your way to show that you care.
Well, that's different. That's how I interact with the world.
All right. So maybe that's
like that, though.
Maybe that's more appropriate.
There's certain topics there's certain topics that I hear
my
about.
bad. Maybe that's more appropriate.
I don't care about.
Even though we've heard.
I don't care about certain.
times.
I don't care about certain situations that people go through. Right, certain circumstances. I'm like, I don't like today. I'm trying to have a positive day. I don't want to hear about people's shit today.
Right.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So I think that's the same for people. Like, I don't want to hear about that. Like, I have no interest in that. So, no funding.
Yep.
Part of me also says that we have the funding within ourselves as people of color.
Yep.
How do we figure out a way to pull on those resources? Like, so there's certain things that I do, like not for my job, but like if I'm part of. So shout out to Camp Arrow, right? Like his basketball camps, and shout out to Lamont Thomas, who does Play for Peace and does basketball camps. Like, I reach out to certain individuals in the community.
Yep.
And I'm like, listen, I know you got the money. These kids need pizza every day this week. Oh, nah, bro, I got you. How many boxes? 10. Come through. So it's there, right? And it's pulling on those resources. It's making the people that we have in our community care about the community, and making them do something. People want to do things that feel good. Like,
yes,
maybe I don't want to go out in the streets every day and talk to kids and tell them to stay out the streets and stuff like that. Partially, it could be for some of those individuals that are still attached to the streets.
Yep.
So they feel like their message would be contradictory, right? So I don't want to contradict myself. Stay out the streets. I just seen you
in the streets.
You have a nice car. You don't have a job, right? And so, but finding another way. Kids need pizza. Got you, bro. They need soda too. So finding those individuals within the community that have the resources and pulling on those things.
So do you think that by the government providing social programs that can be leveraged in those type of situations, right? So that maybe those type of situations become less and less, right? And now we have individuals that can go to school for free, no matter what your background is, right? Because those situations are now available, there are certain other situations that become less and less. Does that make sense? Other things become less and less, right? So hopefully, like, the poverty rate we'll still have a poverty rate, but that would be lesser, right? Because there's other programs that are available. That makes sense.
Yep.
So what you're saying is, if these social programs are available, if we have the power even within the community to subsidize these programs, we can work with government to provide a more social. Do you know where I'm going with this? Like a more social environment.
But I feel like, just from my experience, when you're working with, so say if you're getting federal funds, they come with stipulations, and so I know programs that take federal funds now can't take a kid who. So now you're coming with the federal funds. Your success rate has to be 70%. Right, so like if you're taking, so basically what that does, right? 70% is high, right? So say if you had to have a 70% completion rate, working in a poor community, that's high, right? 70% is a high completion rate. That means you have to take this student who say if it's a student, right? Say if it's a educational program. Student who has failed classes all their life, right? For whatever reason. Now you have to you're putting them in your program, you have to have 70% completion rate.
So what I'm saying is, from a social program perspective, that's obsolete, because that is now available. So now you don't have this funding. You don't have this money that you have to pay back, or that is being paid to you. That is now available. It's available like a fireman is available if you have a fire, right? That's what I'm talking about with a social program, right? Like we have social programs that actually work, right? Like the police is a social program, right? The firemen are social programs. So you're in your case, you're absolutely right, and I'm not discounting that, because that's a good conversation to have. Yeah. But in your case, that's now made available.
So these programs are working.
I'm asking, should we enlist that? Like, should we as a people start thinking about, if we're going to start thinking about voting, or if we have to start thinking about action, or if we're going to start thinking about doing the right thing, even for our communities, like you mentioned, right? Should we start thinking about what works for the majority of the people, right? Because all we do is for the people, right? That's what, I mean, I believe in that. So if we're going to do this for the people, then what works for the majority of the people that will not allow us to get to the situation that we're in now, or that will prohibit situations that we fall into now, where you have all these prejudice? Because I'm thinking social programs will work. That would work. We pay enough taxes, don't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah. We don't know where those taxes go to.
But Caba's saying that it would go to.
What if it went to like
those social programs? Right.
What if it went to those community? What if it went to you? Right. So that's where this question is coming from. Like, what if it went to programs like yours
with no stipulations? Like,
right
here.
Like, yo, look at what you're doing.
Boys clubs here.
Look at what you're doing. You need the money.
Yep. Oh no.
So here it is. We're now socializing this program because it's good for the society, right? So, yo, here's the money, man. It's not funded to you. It's not loaned to you. It's not. Here's a program that every citizen pays a small amount of tax for.
Would that work for your program, to give you guys money?
Absolutely.
Funding? Why? Why do you think that would work?
Capacity.
Okay.
Right. So if we're thinking about violence and we're thinking about quote unquote gang members, you're thinking about data. Right now, I'm operating with 5 street workers, and 4 of those are in Providence. which has the highest crime rate of any city in the state. And then one in Pawtucket, which is, I think Pawtucket is actually second to Providence. One person. And so if we're talking about crews.
Well, I mean, let's be real. Pawtucket's only 3 blocks, so. But go ahead.
Yo, shout out to Pawtucket. God damn it, Alex.
Yeah, so.
Oh, man.
My bad. Go ahead. My bad.
He didn't mean that, Pawtucket folks. There's a few of you I want to get on the podcast.
Oh, man.
He didn't mean that.
This dude, man.
Go ahead. I'm
listening. Hill, he didn't mean that.
Oh, shit, I forgot it.
And Hill actually talked to Alex, saying he got something in brewing and he wanted to get back on the podcast. Hill, we love you, baby. Shout out to Pawtucket. We love Pawtucket, man. But no, so like just take that one street worker and it has right. Pawtucket has an issue with Bucket East, Bucket West. So Pawtucket has been divided in half, and then you also got Pawtucket against CF. So just imagine that uphill battle. I mean, we don't leave him alone, but just imagine if he had to take on Pawtucket by himself. Can't. Right? It's just a lot of back and forth. Hey, yo, don't shoot at him. Don't shoot at him. Don't shoot at him. I'm tired this day, and I'm not coming to work. Oh, Mike's not around. Bow, bow, bow. Right? So capacity-wise, we always need money. Like, we can always use more bodies. I'm interested in more people, but I'm interested in, it's almost like that less is more. I'm interested in the people that want to do the work. So give me 8 solid people that want to go out there and hustle. Take the rest of that money and put it into programming. Right? So if you got guys on the street or women on the street engaging these young people, I want them to be able to say, here, this is what we got. Free of charge. It is sustainable, and this is for you to take advantage of. Absolutely. If that money is coming in that way from tax dollars from the community, I'll take that. I'll take that over a grant. Because the grants come with stipulations.
Right.
Federal funds come with stipulations, but if it's coming from the taxpaying citizens, I'd rather be held accountable to the people that we're serving,
right,
than some political office or some federal agency, government. Like, I'd rather be, because I like that accountability from the people. Like, look, our taxpaying dollars are going into this. It's almost like with police, right? People are like, yo, y'all shooting us down, but we pay your salaries.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be working for us, protecting us, not killing us. And so I'd rather deal with that. I like that accountability better because now we can say, hey, you have stake in this.
Yeah. And I don't like I'm paying your salary, because then we're switching that authoritative narrative, right?
About that. But aside from, I guess, the police and the fire department, what other social programs do you see working?
I don't know. We would have to institute them. I would assume a program like Bubs would work like a motherfucker.
Okay, so then, you have Youth Bill, right? Youth Bill is now a school. Youth Bill Preparatory Academy is a school.
Yep. And
so they get federal funding. But imagine if they was getting funding from the community.
Right.
Because now they get because they get federal funding, they have the stipulation of we have to have this completion rate.
Yep.
Right. And so when you put completion rates on people, on or institutions that are in communities where kids are not completing anything, you start to self-select.
You know, I don't mind stipulation as long as they promote the community.
But sometimes stipulations don't fit the mission of the organization. And so what organizations will do, because lack of capacity, I need money. And so for money, I'll take this grant. Has nothing to do, I'll take this grant, RFP, whatever these monies are coming to, and try to incorporate some of those stipulations into our organization, which don't fit our mission.
Right.
And so what happens is you don't meet the requirements and you lose that money.
But that's because of the grant, right?
That's because of lack of resources. And so there's no money elsewhere. I need that money.
Right. So
you know
you
what?
need to go get that grant.
So I'll try to do whatever this grant is saying to do.
Yeah. So if you have a social program that supports you 100%, just like we support the police, right? Like I call the police right now, they're not going to slam me with a bill and say, hey, well, you called us, so here's $1,000, right? Yeah. Like I can call the police however many times I want to call the police, right?
All day, every day.
And I ain't going to get a bill. You know what I mean? So
No
your
invoices,
program works the exact same way. There's nobody's going to bill you for the services that you're requesting because you are being called to duty.
Well, we don't anyway.
But all I'm saying is your organization is not fully funded, right? Yeah. That's like saying, hey, the cops don't get billed, but they are federally funded and they have to pay. They have a higher power.
Well, what happens is, right, what makes us different from a police department is nobody says, hey, I wanna fund the special victims unit. I want to fund the patrol unit. I want to fund the detective unit. I want to fund the gang unit. Unfortunately, our organization, people are like, yo, I like the street workers. Here's my money for them.
That's what I'm saying.
I
think all of that should be subsidized.
Services. I want to fund them, right? And so that money goes.
I think all that should be subsidized, so that way all you have to do is assure that you're doing the job that you're doing.
Here's a check for the organization. Boom.
It shouldn't even. It should be whatever you need, you got.
No, what I'm saying is like
whatever you need, you got, and just show us that you're doing your job. Yeah. Just show us track records of your meeting with people.
You're the expert. You tell us.
Because, and this is what I'm saying. I don't mind stipulations when it comes to social programs because what you just said, I'm paying your salary, and even I know you didn't mean it that way, right? The way you meant it was accountability. Accountability. I'm paying into this program. Yeah. So now
you say you're going to decrease gang violence.
What kind of social stipulations can we apply that everybody would agree with and everybody would vote to, and then would say, "Yep, I can put my hard-earned tax dollar into that." Yeah, let's vote on that. Let's make that happen. Wouldn't you think? And that goes into my next question. Wouldn't you think that would limit some of the controversy and conflict that we have today? If more programs that provide the capability and lessen the negative connotation that comes with it, right? Because people will look at you and they'll listen to that word street worker. Oh man, you're working with gang violence, you're working with those low level, right? Low level folk. It takes that. You don't think of a cop as a low level person. True. Kids want to be cops.
Oh, yeah, our field is not respected. It's not a respected.
It's not respected,
profession.
Man.
Yeah.
So you take that away. Y'all respected as just like firemen are respected, just like cops are respected. Y'all respected in the same light. Yeah. Doesn't that take away? Doesn't that even out the playing field? Because now you have cops that are doing their job, whatever the hell their job is. But now you have you that's doing your job. You're different than a cop. Yeah. Doesn't that bridge some of the gaps that we have? Doesn't that?
I think that helps to
decrease.
Community. I think
I'm not saying it gets it away. I'm not saying it takes anything away.
Right. Never will. But
just saying it decreases.
From a community perspective, I think it gives the community stake in the game. Yep. That's why I didn't mean like I pay your salary. Like
I know exactly how you meant it.
Like my tax dollars are going to this. Yep. I'm invested. I'm going to your community meetings. I think if that way people feel, like I said, people feel invested. So like I'm coming to your organization. I might bring a kid to your organization. If I'm a citizen that feels invested in the community, I'm like, yo, my tax dollars are going there. I want to see what you're doing. You know what? I might just stop in randomly. Like how are things going here at the organization? And not on a negative, like I want to prove that you're not doing your job, but like, yo, you're doing good work. I want to hear about it. Yeah. I'm stopping in. Can I speak to somebody here? Can I speak to the ED? Can I speak to somebody? I just want to know what's going on. Or I'm bringing a kid, right? Like I know Caba. Caba's involved in some bullshit. I know he's carrying guns. Oh, The Nonviolence Institute. That's what they do. Come here, Caba. You're coming with me. I'm walking in the door. I need to speak to Juan Carter. Juan Carter is Caba. He's involved in some stuff. I don't know if he's a gang member, but I know he's carrying guns and stuff like that. I hear he's involved in some shootings. Here, do what you do. Then I'm coming back. How's it going with Caba? I think that what you're talking about gives the community members feeling that, all right, I can now go to this organization because I know I actually contribute.
Yes.
When donors donate money, they feel like you have to give me something.
Yes.
In return, you have to tell me that my money has went to this, and this is what's going on with my money. And I think for the taxpaying citizen, like I said, not because I pay your paycheck, but you owe me something.
Accountability.
You owe me something.
Yep.
So I brought Caba to you. I want to know what you're doing with Caba.
Yep.
So yeah, hell yeah. I would take that. I would take that over a grant any day. Any just money that comes with when I said stipulations that because I know nonprofits struggle for money and they struggle with fundraising, they sometimes go into grants that don't even match their mission.
Yep.
And then what happens is you take that money and then you mess it up because you don't meet the requirements. And so now you're not getting that money again. And so what happens is that travels
Becomes
to
a cycle.
funders. To funders. Funders like, nah, don't give them no money because they're just gonna take it and think they can do whatever they want with it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Not all communities think cops are up here, like on a high level.
I'm not saying on a high level, but I would argue that in most communities, as a child, unless you're in a very bad community,
Mm-hmm.
you value a police officer.
Right.
Until a certain age, I think you value a police officer.
True.
Officer friendly?
Officer friendly.
Right.
This is showing up at your school.
What? Loved officer friendly. Till I didn't see him no more.
Right.
Until I went back to my community, shootings were happening. I ain't see officer friendly.
I don't know.
It's
I would assume so. You know what? I don't have the data. You're absolutely right.
Right. I would say officer friendly was like first kindergarten, anywhere from kindergarten to third grade. From my memory, is seeing officer friendly and then going back to lockup.
Dare official when you had the dare official.
Yeah. Like you had all those little programs or whatever.
They're still around.
Is it?
Yeah. Different type of dare, but like.
Crazy.
Yeah. But so like it going back to Lockwood Plaza, shooting happens. You don't look like officer friendly. You look very angry.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so go back to school, see officer friendly, like, dog, where was you at last night? There was a shooting in Lockwood. You wasn't there. Man, fuck the police.
Guess who would have been there though?
Juan Carter.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Have y'all heard of I'm dragging this out and I'm sorry. Have y'all heard? I haven't been here, man. I'm excited. Have y'all heard of junk culture?
Junk? No.
It's when they say it started like in the 70s and 80s when we were introduced to processed foods and like junk, and we started becoming addicted to like junk food, right?
Okay.
Like it tastes good, so we're addicted to it. We get that dopamine hit. It's like, all right, this tastes good, so yeah, I'm gonna fuck with whatever tastes good, right?
I'm here.
But then you figured out a way. I hate to use the word they because it makes it sound like there's masterminds out there, and I don't believe in that shit. But I believe in there's shit going on, but I don't believe in fucking superhumans. But anyways, you have this junk culture, right? And you have, and to make a long story a little bit shorter, it transpires into this way of, well, if they like it so much, maybe we can make money out of it, and we could advertise for it, right? Like we could continue to advertise Snickers and Coca-Cola and chips and shit like that, right? And we make a lot of money out of it. But when you start to realize that advertising works and that that people can get addicted to junk, and that junk actually is a dopamine hit that works and that is valuable, then you have people liking shit that doesn't matter, junk, right? So you have people attracted to junk, which is the reason why we're so attracted to like Twitter and Instagram, right? Because we're attracted to those likes, like that dopamine hit. We want that dopamine hit all the time. Like my shit. Yep. Like my shit. Yep. Dopamine hit me. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Hit me with that dopamine. Hit me with junk. So it just I'm trying to think of ways to eliminate some of the junk. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm always gonna have junk. Like you need the yin and the yang. You know what I'm saying? You need the peace and the war. So you need some of this shit. But I'm trying to find a way to control or at least limit some of the junk.
I seen I believe it was a lecture, college lecture. Or was it kind of like and I can't remember the guy's name, and he was talking about diet and a healthy diet. And a healthy diet is not only what we physically eat, like food, but what we watch, what we digest sometimes is unhealthy. And I was talking about this at work the other day. Free time. So what I try to do for myself is take an hour out of my day to read a book.
That's dope.
But then there's this other free time where I'm at home. But I probably should go to sleep.
Watching a boot game.
I should probably go to sleep, but I'm on Netflix and I'm looking for something.
Oh, I got some recommendations. Don't let me forget.
And I don't know what I'm looking for. But most times it's some bullshit. I'm looking for some violence.
Oh my God, all of the time. I'm always looking for some bullshit.
But there's documentaries on there that I could be watching that are very informational that I could learn from.
I love documentaries, bro.
But I'm like, fuck those documentaries, baby. I want to watch something that's violent.
I want to watch something that's violent.
And what's stupid about that is that...
What's up with you? Right?
No. What's dumb about that is that...
You're nonviolent?
That too.
It's nonviolent bub.
Yeah.
That too, right? But also, like, I should be going to sleep. So I know if I watch this, it's going to keep me up.
Right.
But if I watch a documentary, I'm probably going to fall asleep on it. That's just how my mind works.
So you want to stay up? You want to stay up?
I don't know why. I want to stay up, but I don't know why.
Well, that's funny you say that because...
But it's junk, right? It's junk. It's almost like somebody eating crappy food at midnight when you should be asleep. But you're like, I'm up.
Might as well eat.
So going along with that, right? I'm going to watch this action movie. I'm going to be up. Now I'm like, fuck, I should have some chips with this.
Of course. You're up.
I'm up. Bang. Chips.
That all the time.
You're up.
So now I just digested some
junk.
And I just watched and digested some junk for the brain. And when he said that, I'm like, yo, that's absolutely true.
That makes sense, right? Like,
makes sense. Perfect sense.
It's what you eat, it's what you intake.
Yeah.
Should the government do it though? Is it the government's responsibility to enforce those social?
Are we back to the social programs?
Did we move off?
He was talking about something totally different.
Oh yeah, I was talking about junk culture.
Yeah.
Oh, just junk.
But you talking about should the government do it?
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I was just asking. That was my question. Should the government do it? And if we think that they should, like police and firemen, right? Like we don't ask. Like think about it. That's never. We don't. That doesn't come up unless they go on strike, right? Unless something happens,
but
right?
Also, so if police departments. I've been in plenty of meetings. Police departments feel underfunded.
Oh, they are.
Right. So government is not always allocating tax-paying dollars evenly.
That's not what I'm saying, though.
I know.
I'm saying you have a program like the police, right? Mm-hmm. So you're right. That's a completely different conversation because they are underpaid. I agree that they're underpaid, which is another reason.
I didn't say underpaid. I didn't say underpaid. I said underfunded.
We can go into this conversation. But I think if we would be able to promote, if I'll give a hypothetical. Bankers make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right. So if we were to, let's say, switch that and I know there's going to be a lot of bankers that are mad at me right now for saying this, but fuck y'all. So if let's say we will switch that, right? And now bankers make whatever, or whatever. They say bankers make what they make. But police officers, these programs that the people pay into for their safety, to promote the safety of their community, to promote the intellect of their community, to promote the positive reinforcement of either intellect, community, bonding, care, love, value, whatever those are.
Oh yeah, so like, if perfect example, right? You got DCYF that is supposed to protect children. DCYF. You got schools, school departments, educate our kids. Police departments and fire departments to protect our communities from harm.
Shouldn't all of those programs that you just mentioned be appropriately funded by the community?
With no worries. No worries. It would even the playing field.
Which begs the question as to why that is. See, to go to your junk food culture and what you just said, this is why I don't watch sports anymore. This is why I'm starting to vary myself off of sports. I mean, I like I said last week, I've been doing it for quite some time. I've been doing it before the whole Kaepernick thing started. I just find it funny that the people that should be getting paid the most in our culture, teachers, officers, but don't. Yet, the entertainers are making millions and millions of dollars, which is mind-blowing to me as to how the fuck.
They provide a dopamine hit, though. When we see fucking LeBron do a crazy-ass dunk over somebody's head and his ass is in somebody's face, dog.
It's entertainment. I think
that's not going to be. That's going to be worth me listening to a teacher talking about chemistry.
It's not entertaining at all.
Dopamine hit. We value the junk. We value the sugars. We value the dopamine hit.
So now you got me.
Let's go.
I live in a very rich town, and so if we're talking about tax paying down, if we're talking about, so what you're proposing, is it? So are we talking about the state, right? So everybody's tax dollars are just going into this pool of money because each town operates differently. So if that's not the case, if it's not everybody's tax dollars going into across the state into this pool of money to be distributed equally, then it won't work because Barrington is one of the richest towns, and it's the richest town in Rhode Island. So that means they're actually building a new middle school right now, and the shit is massive.
Eddie's nervous all the time. Eddie's been nervous this entire podcast.
and the new middle school is massive, and it's going to be beautiful. And that's because, and it says right on the sign, "Thank your tax-paying citizens."
Yo, what's up?
Dang.
Right? And so,
which one's me?
No, Barrington tax-paying
all right,
citizens.
that's what I mean.
Not you.
All right.
Not you. Your taxes. Right? And so if it's not to what you're saying.
You know what denomination you're paying in your taxes that are going to that middle school?
I don't.
That's what I'm talking about.
But what I'm saying is, I think it doesn't. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be.
I bet you know what that dude that jumped out of his Nike sneakers' next move is going to be, though. That played for Duke.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. But what I'm saying is
dopamine hit.
But what I'm saying is that the tax dollars should go for every town, right? For every town, it just goes into this funnel of money.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be separated by town.
No, I feel you. I don't know how I would, because I know that there's like property tax.
Yeah. So the property taxes are different.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They're higher.
I don't know how it all works.
They're higher.
But whatever.
They're lower in Providence because of the violence and it's because of the crime rate.
Yeah. Whatever would make sense. I think it would be whatever.
Crime rate really ain't that bad over here. I mean, compared to Barrington, it is, but.
Compared to the state, it is. Providence has the highest crime rate in the state.
See, all right. I was thinking about murders. That was my.
No, just crime in general lowers
lowers
the property taxes.
Gotcha. Go ahead.
But murder too. Like Providence has the most murders.
No, that's what I was thinking. It was just murders, and that was
yeah.
And my bad. You can God, Dave.
Yeah. So you got 5 bubs, fucking trying to mitigate that shit. You got 5 bubs trying to mitigate that. What if one of them was 6? You got 4 bubs trying to
vacation.
Yeah. What if another one gets vacation? Now you got 3. Come on, man.
Well,
we need to understand. I gotta change that too. I don't want to get into people's pockets. I don't want to do that. But I think it would make sense if people understood where their tax dollar was going,
Absolutely,
and then were able to make a decision within their community, whatever decision you wanted to make. I mean, you could be the most racist, prejudiced person in the world. It's that whatever decision you voted on is your decision. However, as a community,
you might not want to invest in the nonviolence institute, but you're like, you know what? Children's Friends, who supports young children. I want to invest in that. I want to invest.
It may make sense to have 5 bubs in Barrington. That may make sense, and have 20 bubs in Providence because that's what we need. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hey, every year let's tally. You do it in business, right? In business, every year at the end of business, you tally up. You fix all of your documents, and you make sure your documentation is up to date, and you also make sure that whatever you need, you can account for. You know what I'm saying? If you need more for the budget, you could bring it up to the board, whatever the case may be, right? Like you do it in business. In business, you account for whatever you're lacking. You know what I'm saying? And what you don't do in business, which I think you should do, is you should promote whatever isn't lacking and whatever's promoting the community, right? So now you put yourself in a situation where you're promoting the community and you're promoting the things that the community is doing well, but you're also helping those aspects that are not doing well. You're hopefully creating this yin and the yang, this balance. You're still going to have, I'm not saying that violence is going to go away. I'm not saying that anything is going to go away.
No.
Right? There's still going to be some level of that. But I think I'm thinking it would be whatever better. I think it would be a better version of. But I
think you can talk to the community differently. So why would I care about the Nonviolence Institute if I have no investment in it? So it goes back to interest. So if you're talking to the community about Nonviolence Institute, police departments, fire departments, school departments, in a way where, listen, your tax dollars are going into this. And this is in educating people on why this is important. Because this is to support you and your family and your livelihood. I think people would look at that and say, you know what? Maybe I should pay attention more.
But I'm saying nobody explains to us that firemen and policemen are going to do anything to our lives. But I think we find that out the hard way. Yeah. I think we get more of it from a fireman, because firemen, you read a story or you're told a story and then you see it in action, right? Like that firemen have to do what they have to do. So you see it more in firemen. But I'm talking about, what if we had, and again, this is all hypothetical, but I think it could work. What if we can, and I'm trying to tie this whole bow up together because I know this is long-winded now, but what if we stop? Let's not stop. What if we can take some of the time that we spend on junk culture, because I'm not saying that we don't feed the dopamine hit. We're always going to love sugar. That's just who we are. It's just a part of our anatomy. I'm not saying we stop that. I'm saying, what if we take some of that and just apply it into learning about where our money is going? That way we're not taking money out of somebody else's pocket or even concerned about that. Instead, what we're concerned about is, hey, these are my views and this is where my tax money is going towards already. Is there a way that I can add more to that, which I would not propose? Or is there a way that I can understand where I'm paying and what it is that I'm paying and where my tax money is going, and then have a choice to say, I live in this community and I know what would make me and my community better. And it would be if I had another bub, if I had 2 other bubs. So I want to take my money that I'm federally that I'm funding through my tax dollars out of supporting whatever other program that there is. I want to take some of that, like you do with 401ks, right? Like you have your 401k, you could diversify your funds or whatever, diversify bonds or whatever the hell the investment terms are. I'm talking about that. Can I diversify my tax donation?
But I think
what the fuck is FICO, man? Like,
yeah.
What is that?
But
man?
I think that
does that mean bub? I don't think that means bub, man.
But I think that I think it makes you interested in learning more about. So I've been to plenty forums where, or even myself, to learn why a police officer operates the way they do. So I remember in our summer job program, we had somebody come in and explain police operations and procedures, policies, protocols. And I had one guy who was a former police officer who said, there's a reason why police officers sometimes don't shake people's hands. And if I'm right-handed, my gun is on my hip, right side. I don't shake people's hands, not because I don't want to shake your hand, is that I have to protect myself. So if I shake your hand with my right hand, I'm now vulnerable to you grabbing my gun. I was like, oh, shit, I didn't know that. And so now if a person doesn't know that, as a citizen, damn, that cop's a piece of shit. He didn't shake my hand. But he was taught that. He was taught, don't do that. And so can I be mad at him for not doing that? Probably, if I don't know why he didn't do it. So I think because we assume people's jobs in everything, right? Right. If Alex was that, or say, take a Rip the bus driver, right? I know I've been there. Damn, I was right there. And you still pulled off. You wasn't at the stop.
There's a reason why.
There's a reason why. Protocol, my job tells me if you're not at the stop, I pull off. But I'm a citizen. And fuck that bus driver. Like, I was right there. Like, I was back there. He could see me in the mirror running for the bus. He still pulled off.
There's a reason why.
But can I be mad because he did his job? Kind of, sort of. But tell me.
You can be mad,
can you complain?
Oh, yeah. We get complaints all the time.
What happened? Like,
but
you guys get in trouble?
It probably doesn't.
No. You don't have to answer, that.
But it probably doesn't.
Don't answer that.
They probably don't, because it's like, no, he was back there. And so we talked about police legitimacy, right? So traffic stops. If I pull you over as a cop, whether or not you want to, as the person that's getting pulled over, want to hear this information, all right, you're doing 40 in a 35. I pulled you over.
Nah. See, that's ridiculous. I got pulled over.
But what I'm so and there's probably you can probably go a little higher over the speed limit. I think there is a range, but let's, for argument's sake, you're doing 40 in a 35.
Yep.
I pulled you over. The cop, if he doesn't explain that, if he's not this cop that, like, you know what, I'm a cop, don't question me. Officer, why'd you pull me over? You were speeding. The cop should, so with police legitimacy, the cop should say, you know what, fortunately you was doing 40 in the 35 and I had to pull you over. Damn, just 5 miles over the speed limit? Yeah, unfortunately. You might not like the response, but I'm being honest with you and I'm telling you why I pulled you over.
Right.
I'm not asking to search your car. But now you're getting crazy. Now I feel like I'm uncomfortable now. Now my safety's at risk. Now you're yelling at me. Now you're being disorderly. Get out the car. And so what police legitimacy is saying, being honest and explaining the situation and why it is that I pulled you over and why it is I'm operating in the way that I am. And so I think when community members have stake in the game, they can now ask those questions to be educated on why these protocols and procedures are in place. And I think that changes the game because now you can start to say, you know what, I want to vote on different policies, protocols, and procedures.
I agree. You know what else? You know what else I would want? I would want the right to see a bub. That's what I would want. Because maybe, like today's day and age, I may not have time to research what my rights are. Mm-hmm. But you know what I do have the right for? Just like I have the right to call a fireman whenever there's a fire in my kitchen, or whenever I hallucinate that there's a fire. Mm-hmm. Just when I have the right to call the cops whenever there's a real emergency, or whenever I hallucinate that there's an emergency, I should. And just like I have the right to remain silent. Yeah. Before I have the right to remain silent. Before you have the right to remain silent, dog, you got one phone call, and that's Bub. And aside from that,
or Tara, or Mike, Damien, Arthur,
word, word, or right, yeah, word, right. And then I have the right to, and then after that phone call, then I have the right to remain silent. Yeah. Then I could do whatever. Then you can do the spiel. But I want the right to a Bub because Bub knows.
So you want to balance. You want to. What you're saying is you want this balance.
I'm saying, is there? I'm asking. Because I'm struggling, I shouldn't say I'm struggling. There's a certain demographic that I want to reach with this podcast.
That's a good. I was gonna ask y'all.
There's a certain demographic I want to reach.
What you think?
And I'm not gonna shoot for anybody. I'm not gonna name that demographic. If you hear me, you hear me. If you don't, you don't. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to ask these questions that hopefully allow people to think about society and how to fix some of these problems.
So I can give you an example of kind of what we're talking about. So we had this respectable woman with another group of people come to our organization, and we was talking about people who have criminal records. Right, people who have criminal records who should be reintegrated in the community and given jobs. And she was very firm on her belief that if you made your bed, you lay in it. And that's her experience, right? She has an experience.
Okay, I kind of agree with that.
Excuse me. But we're saying as an organization, you are better than your worst mistake, right? And so you deserve a second chance. She's basically saying, no, you don't. So fast forward. Khalif Browder story, 13th Amendment, was played and viewed for the community at RISD. Same woman. I didn't recognize her until she stood up and spoke, was behind me and said, reach out. You have family members in prison. Reach out to them.
Why is that?
Because it became personal for her. When she said people who've been incarcerated, committed crimes, made their bed, they need to lay in it, they don't deserve second chances, it wasn't personal for her. She had no personal interest. Now it's a family member. You should reach out to them. You should call them.
Wasn't he arrested for no reason?
It had nothing to do with Khalif Browder. I'm talking about her making her original statement of, if you go to jail and then you commit a crime, you don't deserve a second chance. Now she has a family member who committed a crime, went to jail, deserves the second chance, deserves people to reach out to, deserves to be reintegrated back in the community.
You just gave me.
And I'm talking about this person walked out of the room. That's how mad she was with her original statement when we kind of went against, when there was other people in her group that went against that.
That's kind of human nature to not care about shit until it affects you personally, one way or another. So,
but
I mean, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that.
But what I'm saying is, I think it changes if what Caba is saying. If that's the dynamic, it changes that kind of perception to a certain degree.
Agree.
Yeah, I agree. I think it changes a lot of things. I think if we start focusing, I think it changes a lot of things, man. I think if we start focusing, I'm not saying that we should stop anything. We can continue to eat and ingest and digest whatever you want. All I'm saying is, can you also lend a little bit of time into what's going on? Because there's a lot going on.
A lot.
And there's advertisement on what's going on. We don't know what's in Frito-Lay potato chips. We don't know what's in Pringles, but we know it tastes good.
Yep.
And we know it's being advertised. So the news is the same thing, man. It feels good. Some things feel good, some things don't, but it's being advertised. So there's a lot going on, and I'm just trying to shed some light where there may be a lot of fucking shit going on. Mm-hmm. And I'm asking simple questions like, we live in a capitalist society, and I'm not saying change that. I'm just saying we have social programs that work. Should other programs be instituted? And I'm saying I think we should have other programs, and those programs would do the community, any community, a lot of good. That's what I'm saying.
I think what happens is,
shout out to the heater, by the way.
That's a good shout out.
Yeah,
that's a good
shout
shout.
To the heater.
I think what happens. So, from my experience and my perspective, the reason why my profession is not respected because there's not. So, police come with training, firefighters come with training.
Yes.
Training means everything.
Yes.
To people. Teachers come with training. Social work comes with, these come with, so police, you don't technically need to go to school. Firefighters either, but teachers, social workers, they go to school, get a degree, right? But firefighters go through an academy, which is kind of a school. Police departments go through academy, which is like a school. Street outreach doesn't go, not universally. There is one in LA. They have a academy, but you don't go through this training where people are like, you're an expert in what you do. People look at police officers experts, firefighters experts, teachers experts, social workers experts. Whatever, if you have to go through some type of teaching academy training program, you're seen as an expert. Street workers are not, and so that I think that's why the playing field is not leveled. And also the money that, outreach workers are underpaid. Most jobs that do real work, people always say, you guys are doing God's work. Thank you. I'm broke.
Yo, let's level up.
Right? And
I'm proposing we level up.
And so, this is across the country. Across the country where all the programs, every outreach worker is like, yo, I'm broke. Because men and women that do this work come with predisposed trauma already. Because we're hiring individuals who come from the prior gang life, who come from, they're formerly incarcerated, for the most part. The majority of the people that do this work come from that aspect. And so, they're broke. They're broke people. They're broken people well.
You're doing God's work. What do you need money for?
Because
we live in a capitalist society.
Yes.
Maybe that's your problem.
Yes. So take this job and go somewhere else.
That's going to be really hard to change.
Right? And so
people don't like change.
I think also what would happen, right, even if you're talking about what Caba is proposing, I don't know if I trust this work. It seems like it works, but I don't know if I trust it because there's not enough training, right? I'm thinking about just devil's advocates, right?
You have your own academy.
That's what would need to happen.
Of course, that's the only thing that you would have to be. This is what I'm saying. And if I miss this, then I need to say this. It would be effective. That program, that social program, schools, safety, fire, prevention. All of these social programs would be funded by the community.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way that a community would not work is if that community does not work. You see what I'm saying? Like you may have degenerate communities. You may have that. You may have people that are just lazy in the couch and may have that.
Yeah, it goes along. And it goes along with voting, right?
And we
got people that are like, I'm not going to the voting.
I'm a proponent of wanting to see that.
Yeah,
I'm a proponent of wanting to see some. Listen, man, like I'm dead serious when I say the yin and the yang. Like I'm all for peace, and I'm trying to find peace in my life right now. But at the same time, I understand war.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm a proponent of both. I understand that there's going to be people that are not going to subscribe to a motherfucking thing. Mm. Okay, that's fine. But there are also going to be people, and I'm thinking, and I could be wrong, but I think there are going to be people that are going to subscribe to shit. And those things are going to be positive towards the community. At least positive towards them. And we're not all that different. We're human.
Absolutely.
So we're kind of going to want some of the same stuff, especially if we're in a loving, caring, prominent community.
Well, see, that's why I posed what you just said, that question many podcasts ago, as to, don't we all as human beings want the same thing?
No.
And when you said no, I was shocked by that. You don't think that we all want the same thing?
No.
We don't all want to be healthy, happy, live.
I think there are people right now that are talking about that are like, yo, no, I'm not going to put any of this sugar down. I'm not going to stop listening to, looking at Instagram. I'm not going to, I'm not going to do that.
And that's fine.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying that's fine. Don't stop. Just also put some time. Anytime. 2-3 seconds. Anytime. Whatever time you're not doing now, maximize that by a minute. Put a minute into doing something that works for you and your community and doesn't put your hand in other people's pocket. Because that's the way to strive. Don't put anybody down. Raise people up.
Yes. I'm all with that. I don't see it happening.
Listen,
I don't see
that's why it's a hypothetical, right? Like, yo, like I'm just trying. Listen,
I agree with you.
I have to figure out a way. Yeah, man, I'm just trying to, spark a flame. If it works, it works. If it doesn't,
that was a good flame.
That's what I'm trying to do.
That was a good flame.
If anybody else is trying to do it, that's fine. If nobody else is trying to do it, that's fine too, man. I'm all for peace. Peace to everybody.
I'm here.
Peace to the world.
I'm here for the community, but I'm just not gonna rock with the community if the community ain't gonna rock for itself.
Why not? You could just rock with another community.
I do it.
Right? It's your tax dollar. You can. This is what's important about knowing what you do. If you didn't like your Apple product, you're not gonna just stay with Apple products and be like, "Oh my God, this Apple products." No, you're gonna go to Microsoft.
Well, you would assume that you would do that. Just people who don't like the Apple products and still gonna buy the Apple product because it's Apple product.
Don't you want to see that person and be like, "I do not want to be like that person"? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's true. True.
We need to see that.
All right.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, that's all. I'm not trying to complicate this at all. Don't look at this in any complicated way. This is a very simple idea. Now, there's going to be complications, right? Because you are going to have stipulations and regulation, and there's going to be other things that are going to have to be figured out. I'm not proposing, nor should I want this conversation to be about that. And I know we're running out of time. But all I'm saying is, let's think about it. Something as simple as we know what we pay, and we know how to bargain, and we know how to hustle. When we're paying for something that's too much now, we can hustle that down a little bit more. Who's here paid for sticker price for a car? You never do, right? So you hustle your way into it. How come we're not doing the same thing with our tax dollars?
But I think when you,
how come we allow money to just be taken away? Like, yo, you worked hard for this amount, but we're gonna give you this other amount, right? And we don't even know. Like, what is you gave me close to half. I don't even know the breakdown of that. I don't know what these words mean that apply to this. Yep. $150, $50, $75, whatever it is. Like, I don't even know what those words mean. Social Security, cool, but you're talking about taking it away. What does that mean? Like, all I'm saying is, do we know what it means? And are we giving ourselves the chance, instead of focusing on the junk, is there an opportunity where we can focus where it matters? It's like in boxing, right? In boxing, a lot of people like you want to focus on where your opponent is weakest. I'm not going to start to focus on the colors of your fucking trunk, or if your trunk is short, or if your trunk is small, or if your trunk has the wrong flag on it.
Nikes you got on?
Fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to beat your ass, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to focus on what's important.
But I think so.
Welcome back, David.
My bad.
So,
my bad.
In class yesterday, we focused on financial management, right? And we talked about budgets. Now, I can give you the organizational budget, right? All the line items and everything. And we talked about budgets can also tell stories. But I need to focus that to tell the story that I want to tell. Because I can give you a bunch of numbers and dollars amounts, and you'll be like, a bunch of line items. You're like, what? What does that mean? Right. But I can focus it to what you're talking about. I can say, this is what this number's saying. This is what this number's saying. And for different audiences. So you might want to know something different about the budget than Alex might want to know. And it's almost about the tax dollar, right? I want to know where my tax dollars are going, and I think it changes people's perception on finances too. How much loose change do we throw away? Right? If you're a person that carries cash. Me and Caba found out today that we don't carry cash.
No, I don't know. That makes all three of us.
We don't carry cash, right? And so, but just for people, I've been there where I carry cash and I'm like just spending it, taking the change and kind of just throwing it, and not even accounting for the change that's sitting in the ashtray, in the cup holder.
Word.
It's probably like $20 worth of change.
I think I got like $20 in my foreign right now.
That's what I'm saying. And so, to what you're saying is, like,
you just called it a foreign.
But
don't just skip over my foreign.
No, I didn't want to skip that over. I thought it was the beers that I had. Holy shit!
I mean, it's a foreign.
I fucking missed this.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's a foreign.
I get it.
Technically,
I see what he
it's
did.
a foreign.
I see what he did.
But usually when people
good.
say foreign, they're talking whatever.
Yeah.
Right. I like the car, so I'm not dissing your car.
Oh, I love Nissan.
I mean, it's
I like your car.
Dang, don't.
I love
say
your
the
car.
name. I could have just thought it was a foreign.
Well, I said it earlier.
No, I didn't.
You said it's a Nissan, so it's a foreign.
No, technically it's a foreign. That's what I said.
You want to make a bet?
Absolutely.
I bet you another bottle of that Douce. I love being back. Yes.
I know what I said.
All right. We'll see about that, Bo.
One of y'all said it, and I didn't have to say what it was. I could have just.
You want to double up on the Douce?
No.
A bigger
I'm
bottle?
not a double up type of dude.
Bigger bottle?
No, I like that bottle. All
right, cool.
I like that bottle.
See how
that bottle's gonna
confident
be
I
nice.
am?
That bottle's what?
See how confident I am?
I do. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
can you play that back right now?
What time is that?
1:18.
Yeah, that's a good time. I like that time. That's a good time.
Real quick, I just wanted to when I re-listened to our last podcast, I started thinking about our demographic.
Yep.
And who we were trying to reach, right? If when this podcast pops, I can.
When?
It hasn't?
When?
Okay.
Look at the lights, dog.
No, yeah. Have
you seen the lights?
Yeah, no, I see the light. It's very bright.
Do we have to do a vote off?
We got rid of the orange.
Do we have to do a vote off?
No, like I've been gone for a little bit, and y'all just.
All right,
Phil, where you at?
All right.
Holy shit,
Phil, we need a third call.
Oh my God,
Phil.
Anyways, like Phil
believes we pop.
Man, I thought we were out here.
Like I can see people looking at this podcast and being like, you know how we used to look at the black kids who used to hang out with the white crowd as white people, the white black kids? No, nobody. I'm the only one.
I hung out with white kids.
Like the token black guy?
Yeah.
I don't think I was a token black guy, but I hung out with a lot of white kids. I hung out with to get out of the hood. That's why I did it.
In my later years, I hung out with a lot of white kids.
The point of that was...
But I mean,
I can see them saying that about this podcast because we're never like, because I think that we think logically. I'm fucked up.
We haven't had a white guest.
No, not about that. It's just that, like, when we were talking about the whole Gucci thing last week, we didn't go to one side of it. We kind of rationally thought about it. Is what I'm trying to say.
So we should pick a side?
I'm gonna try to change that.
We're gonna pick a side?
No, I'm not saying I can see.
I'm gonna try to change that.
I'm just saying that I can see from the outside looking in. I can see that being something.
Yeah, I can see. I don't see that here. I don't see that here. I can see that in other podcasts.
Why? Why?
Just because if we're thinking, let's say, I don't know, pro-black, right?
Mm-hmm.
You pro-black, you listen to this podcast, you'd be like, hey, listen to these motherfuckers. They're siding with Gucci. Even though we didn't never say that, but like because I used to be that guy. So it's like, you're not agreeing with me. I want y'all to boycott Gucci, and y'all not saying that. So like, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like, I can see somebody saying,
I believe collectively we're not yes men, and we think logically, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. Is that I can see
Fuck
someone
them if they think that way.
That's it.
Are we willing to boycott everything? Are we a boycott culture? Do we boycott?
And we talked about that last week. Like,
what was the last huge boycott? What was the last thing people boycotted?
Boycotted, like it actually.
I want to know where that name came from.
So when we talked about last week, like when I think of boycott means
never again.
We're doing something until something changes,
or never again.
And so we're gonna stick with this, right? So Gucci, let's take Gucci for example, right? We're gonna Actually, I'm not gonna even use Gucci because why are we supporting Gucci and not supporting other black brands? Right. And so what I'm saying is boycott any brand other than black brands. And I don't even know if that makes it sound bad because it makes it sound. It makes it sound
Killer Mike model, right?
But I don't even know if that's a boycott because I don't think you should have to. Like, for me, why not just support black brands? And it doesn't mean that I'm boycotting this.
What if you like Fila though?
I just like this.
But what if you like Fila? What if you get the dopamine hit from Fila?
But I think what is happening, I think the dopamine hit is Gucci, right? Gucci is the dopamine hit, but Gucci doesn't support black people.
Is Gucci the dopamine hit, or is Gucci just, does Gucci just understand marketing strategy?
That. So you're right.
So do they understand?
No,
do they understand marketing like Coca-Cola understands marketing? Put a couple cute bears on there and you'll be fine.
Because Gucci does know marketing.
Gucci does not know marketing?
They have to know marketing.
No, not know marketing. So when I think of marketing,
advertising. Okay,
I'm thinking commercials, advertisements. They don't do commercials. Rich brands don't do commercials at all.
Let me ask you this. So then we have to define the word commercial. Are we talking about traditional TV commercials, or are we talking about commercializing business? Because that shirt came out, right? This is about a shirt, right? I heard something about a shirt. I haven't really heard it, and the fact that T.I. came out with a song is fucking disgusting. But this is about a shirt, right? So that shirt was commercialized. It may have not been TV. All right. Let's use the word commercial out of it. It was advertised.
Yeah.
Somebody wore it.
Yeah.
It was placed somewhere. It was posted somewhere. It was advertised.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was junk. All right. So the fact that I didn't even want to talk about this, man, because the fact that we're talking about it disgusts me. Like I don't even want. We're giving it what it wants.
Mm-hmm.
We're giving it what it wants.
That's why I'm saying support black brands.
I'm saying I'm for the people. I love where you are because that's what's going to make our conversation interesting going forward. Is that I love having a pro-black person on here because I used to be pro-black, right? Mm-hmm. I used to be the motherfucker with the fist up all day long. If you know me from back in the day, you know where I'm at. But now I see that you can solve a ton of issues, even my back in the day pro-black issues. if you focus on the people.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at. That's it.
People.
The people. The people and how the people support their own. Because at the end of the day, we are tribal. We are communal.
There's nothing.
It's how we strive.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Look at Africa. Africa's still tribal and communal, and they're considered some places, right? Some places people live happier lives, whatever that means, longer, right? So they understand that the community is going to support them for longer periods of time. So it alleviates some of the stress and the anxieties of being alone, of being depressed, of being unsupported, right? So that doesn't come with color to me. That doesn't come with social status. That doesn't come with the amount of money that you make. That doesn't come with what you look like. That comes with understanding people.
So
understanding yourself,
that, right? Killer Mike and DJ Envy's argument. Killer Mike is saying, I'd rather people in general, right? And I know he was specifically talking about black people, but people being educated about themselves and having this sense of pride versus just being educated and not knowing anything about who you are. Right? You're just smart. I don't even want to say smart. You're educated, right? You came up in this, what people ideal educational system, and you got this education that prepared you for college. But you have no self-identity. Killer Mike is saying, go to the school that's in your community, or go to a school that's teaching your culture, and you come out with this sense of pride. And he's saying that's more value than this.
And I'm saying we should be able to, if we want to, support Killer Mike.
No.
And our taxes should reflect that.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't disagree or agree, right? Like I may have my opinions on Killer Mike's strategy, but those are just my opinions. Everybody has opinions. But all I'm saying is that if I agree with Killer Mike, I should be able to support him, man, through my hard-earned tax money, through the money that I you know what I'm saying? Like I blood, sweat, and tears, 8 hours a day. I should be able to support that. To
what you're saying,
man.
I don't think so. To what you're saying is, I'm in agreement as a taxpaying citizen that there should not be just one educational track.
Okay.
I should be able to support something that teaches kids pride, right? Teaches kids more about their background, right? That's more culturally competent to who they are than something that, like, I mean, honestly, for me, I don't care about Western civilization.
Fam, you better start caring. You live in this motherfucker, B.
No.
You live right here, man.
Yeah.
But right. what I'm saying is, I'm not applying any of that. None of what I was taught in Western civilization applies to anything I do today.
What are you talking about, bub? You're a fashion guy. That's Western civilization like a motherfucker.
But what I'm saying is,
I know what you're saying. I'm just fucking around, man. I'm just trying to add some to this conversation.
You can laugh.
Yeah, laugh, man. Laugh, bro. We're just trying
you can laugh. It's okay. It's okay to laugh.
I laugh a lot. I'm laughing right now. Shit. But what I'm saying is, I'm on the track of Killer Mike, and what you're saying is, I support this. Yeah. As a taxpaying citizen, this is what I want to see from my community and my kids. And if you're okay with this as a taxpaying citizen, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm with what you're proposing. It gives me choice. What's free?
Choice with your money.
What's free?
And then you could hopefully answer that, right? Like,
since you're back, what's free? What's free?
I like your answer. I still like your answer. Perspective. I like that. I still like that.
90 minutes on the dot.
Yo, I wanted to do a toast.
All right.
I wanted to do a toast for being back on.
Yes.
And for getting the crew back together. Because I know Alex was a little nervous. Yeah. Alex was a little nervous. I sensed it in the last podcast. You were a little nervous.
I was.
I understand. You know, I'm going to be honest. I was not the week Phil was on, Phil's episode, I was nervous because before I listened to that episode, I was like, but I was going through it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was going through it, so I was just like, yeah, I don't really want to do this shit. Like I don't really want to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't want to go to work. I wasn't going to work. Like I was just.
And your text was like,
yo,
you almost like your text. I felt like, damn, are we falling off? Like, yo, your text. I
didn't want to do it.
I was like, Alex, are we that bad?
Oh no, it was me. No.
No, I know.
I was, you know what I'm saying? Like I was like, yo, I need to figure out what I want to do. Like I don't know. So that was just me. And I wanted to be honest, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't want to be like, hey, still going through it. I don't know. Like you know I wanted to be honest with y'all in the group text. So that was the reason. But then I listened to Phil's episode and that got me hype. And then I listened to last week's episode, which was super dope. And that got me hype. And I was like, all right, yeah. We got to get back on. We got to get back on. And look, man, we got rid of the orange.
We got rid of the orange.
We got lighting. Peace to
Eddie.
Beams. We found out we got beams. Yo.
We got plugs coming out of the wall. We got like wires coming out of the wall.
We don't even understand what they are.
Yeah, nah.
Cheers to y'all, man. Love y'all.
Absolutely.
And it's okay to love your brother, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's perfectly fine, Alex.
Love.
I love you too, man.
Yeah. It's okay for men to say I love you.
Yo,
man.
word.
I didn't know.
Yes,
I didn't know.
Yo, so we out. We got theme music.
We do have theme music.
Shout out to Skino.
I think we should end with the theme music too. You're gonna have to figure out how to plug that one in.
Shout out to Skino.
Shout
out to Hot Stoppers.
Damn.
I wanna cause you said Bub.
Wait, you didn't take that whole shot?
No.
What the fuck? Why did I just do it then?
I don't know what y'all doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But
oh shit.
They're wilding at it.
Because you said Bub, right? I want to represent my team. Shout out to Mike Murray.
Absolutely.
Tara Dorsey, Diana Gonzalez, Arthur Johnson, Damian Rugas, Raymond Duggan, and Manny Nunez.
Peace to y'all.
Team, man.
Peace to y'all and thank y'all. Yeah, absolutely.
And the whole Nonviolence Institute.
Yeah, peace to Ripta too, man. Pawtucket. Peace to
Shout out to the Bucket, man.
Shout out to East
Bucket, we
and
love
West,
y'all.
right?
We love y'all. We love y'all, man. Chill Hill, please come back.
Word, man. Word. Come back, Hill.
Yeah.
Yo, y'all know what to do, man. Let's check out something else. I don't know. I don't mean to close it out.
Man.
We out?
So I got somebody. I got
3 o'clock in the morning.
I got a triple OG. I got an OG that wants to come on the podcast because he got.
I was about to ask,
what
do we
got? He got something brewing.
Okay. All right.
This OG had a record deal.
Oh, we're gonna name names.
I'm not gonna give his name.
Okay. All right.
He had a record deal.
All right.
Well,
it's my guy.
I already told you how I feel about having guests on. They're gonna come on. We got to bring them into our world. This is our podcast. He's with. So he's got a documentary coming out, but he also wanted to come on the podcast because he listened and listened.
He's with this.
Listened.
He's listening.
Like one.
He's listening, and he's
with
the
right
this.
Things in front of Alex. Your words.
So he heard one podcast.
Okay.
One.
Yeah. Okay. One. Yeah. Bring him on.
Yeah. Yeah. But he's with this.
That's what's up.
He's 100. So.
Yeah. Real quick. Shout outs to YouTube. YouTube. The viewers don't mind the same stuff that you saw last week. I just got out of work, so just get used to it.
Now we're working on shirts. We're gonna have shirts.
We're gonna have shirts.
We're gonna have some shirts.
We got shirts.
Oh, shit, look at us.
Shirts.
Yeah.
Look at us.
Because my swag game is y'all, and I don't want to get into this, but y'all talked about swag last week.
All right,
my swag game is out of control. It's so whack. I ain't got no drip.
You got no drip.
My faucet is clean. Off, dog. My knobs work. All that. No drip.
Ed's gonna have to give us a tutorial. A drip tutorial.
Yo, no drip. Yeah. Yo, word, y'all know what to do, man. Like, share, comment.
We back.
Yeah. So we got a shout out until the event happens because we are a sponsor.
Yes.
Shout out to Spring Hoops, Shahada Thomas. Shout out to the other sponsors that just joined Rhode Island Elite and Play for Peace Tour.
Word.
So, when you get her on the podcast.
So the event's not till March 23rd. So we'll definitely have her on before then.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We keep saying we're gonna hang up. Stop the podcast, but we keep going. I love it. Yeah. I love it. We're back.
We're back.
Oh shit.
We out.
Are we?
Out.
Yeah.
We out. Yeah, we out.
Oh, yo, wait. I had suggestions. Oh, sorry. I had suggestions. And I think I want to do this. I want to try to do this whenever I can. Not every week. This isn't going to be an every week thing because I'm not an every week type of dude.
We got a segment.
But every once in a while, I want to do this. One Strange Rock on Netflix. Pretty dope. Pretty dope.
Very dope. Very dope.
One Strange Rock.
Very dope. I watched.
Since you suggested that, because we're technically it's Black History all year round.
Yes.
So
Yes.
The two killings of Sam Cooke.
Bang. There we go. 2 suggestions for y'all.
That's not junk.
Neither is One Strange Rock.
I believe you.
Yep. Yeah.
I believe you.
Yeah. Now we out.
Out?
Yeah.
Did you shout out the listeners?
Shout outs to the listeners. All of the listeners. All of y'all, man.
Yeah.
The YouTube people. All of y'all, man.
Caba's
Shout out
back.
to Eddie.
Caba's back.
I'm back.
Yes.
Let's do it. Growing Pains. Episode 33. 34?
We didn't even introduce the
Nah.
We're so excited. It is 33. It is 33.
Episode 33. We back. What's up?
Yeah.
We back. And we back like Jesus. Didn't Jesus rise 3 days? Nah, we ain't back like that, dude. I ain't got the math. We back, though. Peace.
Young legend.